Get ready for a night of blues rock at the Victory Theatre in downtown Evansville. Kenny Wayne Shepherd is bringing his guitar to town, and boy, are we in for a show. Joining me now to talk about it is Kenny Wayne Shepherd himself. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We are very excited about you coming to the Victory and about your new album, Dirt on My Diamonds. It comes out on November 17th, but will we hear songs from it in the Evansville show?
It's possible. We're working up some of the songs right now. Obviously, we want them to sound good for the people, but we're hoping to play one, maybe two for the show. But, you know, I have had a career going on about 30 years now, so we have a massive catalog of music, and a lot of our fans have been with us since day one. So we're going to be featuring songs from a lot of different records, going even all the way back to the very first album, Ledbetter Heights, that came out in 1995.
That's amazing. You have had a prolific and long career. You're really known for your guitar skills, but your songwriting has such emotional depth. Talk about how you get there.
Well, you know, I like to write songs that I feel like people can relate to. You know, it's about real life experiences. And then, you know, to a degree, I like to leave the lyrics open to self-interpretation, you know, so the listener can apply the lyrics to the song to their own experience. Probably the most well-known song that I've done, and especially in that regard, is Blue on Black. And I've seen fans that have shared a multitude of different personal experiences with me, you know, from their life and the way they apply the lyrics of that song to their experience. And it's so many different ways that people relate to that song. And to me, that's the power of music.
You know, it's so funny you say that, because honestly, just before, our producer is a huge fan of yours, and we were talking about that, just what Blue on Black means and the implications of it and all that kind of stuff. That song itself, it was written back in 1997, right? And it has many kind of life resurrections throughout many years, right? Most recently in 2017.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah, it had a whole new life. Like, we put it out in 1997. It shot to #1 on the charts. It actually set a record at the time for the most consecutive weeks at #1 in the history of the rock charts. And then 20 years later, a band called Five Finger Death Punch, they're like a heavy metal, they covered it. And we did a collaboration with myself and those guys, and Brian May from Queen played guitar on it, and Brantley Gilbert, a country artist. And we all came together, did this new version of the song, and it shot up to #1 on the rock charts all over again 20 years later, and introduced a whole new generation to that music.
It is phenomenal, and a lot of the proceeds of that went to veterans as well as first responders. So that was just a phenomenal project altogether. Now, one thing I want to get to here is the fact that, you know, your work is not super polished, and that's a compliment, because it's raw, it's real. I want to know if you really work to make it that way, or does that just come naturally to you?
Well, for me, the essence of what we do best is the live performance. Like, we built a career off making great records and doing even better concerts. And that's kind of what we strive for. And so, to me, the best way to represent my band is to try and capture that live performance in the studio. So we do that as much as possible, and we limit the amount of overdubs. We try not to overproduce things. We want to make it sound, you know, real and raw, you know, so the listeners, you know, really feel like they're in the moment with the band.
You capture that. It's so great. It's just listening to it is like you're right there. It's really wonderful. All right, last question here. This is, you know, I told you our producer is a big fan. This is from him. I told him I would do this for him. Throughout your career, I'm sure you've amassed a nice collection of guitars. What was your first guitar, and do you have any one guitar that stands out as your favorite?
Well, I would say it depends on what you consider a real guitar. So when I was 4 years old, my grandmother would go, I don't know if you guys had these stores, but they had these S&H green stamp stores, you know, where they would give you these, you know, stamps, and you collect the booklets, and you could go turn them in for free items. And so she would give me these little toy acoustic guitars with nylon strings, and I learned my first little songs on those. But I got my first electric guitar, real guitar, at age 7, and it was just this cheap guitar. My family didn't have a lot of money, and also, you know, a 7-year-old, how you don't want to invest a lot of money in a guitar not knowing if you're going to take it seriously. But it was good enough to give me my start, for sure. And probably my favorite guitar that I own, you know, has been my 1961 Fender Stratocaster. I got it when I was about 18 years old, and I've never played another guitar that outdoes that one.
Do you still play it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
I got it with me tonight. I'll have it with me on stage when we come to your town as well.
That is fantastic. Big thanks to S&H Green Stamps for getting you started. And Grandma,
I know, right?
Really appreciate that. All right, Kenny Wayne Shepherd, it is such a pleasure to talk to you. He's at the Victory Theatre October 1st. Tickets on sale right now at the Victory Theatre box office and online through Ticketmaster. The album coming out on November 17th, Dirt on My Diamonds. It is so good. Take a listen. Thank you, Kenny Wayne Shepherd.
Thanks so much.